What's up, Kenra? I'm your girl Lo, the brand ambassador for everything color and dimension. Today's tutorial is gonna be really fun because I have this beautiful model, Brooke, and what we're gonna focus on is adding dimension back in with Demi-Permanent in a low light pattern that is so easy to replicate and will actually give us a whole brand new aesthetic that looks like we did a lot of blonding, but we're not going to do a lot of blonding. So buckle up. This is gonna be a really easy and fun tutorial. Let's get started. We have a very heavy kind of ombre thing going on here, and we're talking about adding some nice low lighted pieces in the interior sections just to give a really nice balance to the ends, because if you have clients like Brooke that are like a really deep level 4 and then they're like heavily blonded, it creates almost like an ombre effect for those of us who want to see more dimension. So our goal is to break up this blonde, and because she's pretty light and toned out, I'd like to use the gold series for this. So we have 2 formulations that I'm going to be working with. First, we'll section off where I want to add the interior depth. To add dimension throughout, I mixed 2 formulas, one for the mid shaft and one for the ends. With lowlights, I think it's important to create a lighter kind of bleed out effect. So the 6 double G is going to be to cover and fill her mid shaft. And as I work down to the tips, I don't want to darken those because I don't want to create big, streaks, for lack of a better word. So to blur and blend out the tips, I've mixed up a level 8 gold beige. This is gonna keep an ombre effect in the hair without, darkening it too much. So we want symmetry and dimension. We don't want it to be like super dark. As we get a little higher, I'm going to keep working as I am, but I'm going to take a pretty chunky weave just to offset the dimension. Now that I'm looking at the top crown, I can see that she has a little bit of texturization going on in here, which means this part of her hair is much thinner than this part. So if I go through and do micro sections, I might end up over low lighting, which is something I want to avoid. So I'm gonna take this section and approach it as one piece. And I'm gonna do a little bit finer of a low light, so it just looks super soft. Because we're using a 6 GG, this is gonna just give us richness without taking us too deep. If we actually wanted to create a bigger change, like going towards brunette, we would want to mix something equivalent to her base level and darker to overcompensate for filling in all of this pre-lightened hair. So if I wanted to create a really brunette look on her, I would probably mix level 4 or deeper. So again, we're using a 6 GG, which is just gonna give us a really dimensional bronzy tone. Okay, I'm happy with this side. It just took 4 bigger sections. So now I'm gonna create something that complements this on the other side. Let's do a little veil here in the back. I like to do veils over large surface areas because once it fans out, it just looks like pretty highlights. So instead of like really overthinking it, I just get in there. For these back pieces, I'm gonna use mostly my 6 GG because the blend will be nicer just because the ratio of her own natural is higher back here. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep with my 6 GG all the way root to end and just kind of feather it through the ends. I can foresee this being really pretty once she's all rinsed out, to like pop a little wet balayage in here to just bring the toner that's been deposited over time and like kind of lift it up so it kind of brightens it, so that we can have gold on gold happening. I'm gonna go ahead and like break up any lininess with a level 4N Demi-Permanent. Nothing crazy. I do want to do a little wet balayaging just around the front so that she has some forward brightness. We are back with Brooke's Lowlight, and I am so obsessed with this tone. I really feel like it just like brought everything good about her roots and her color together. And it's just this really flattering, soft dimension. It's not like really, really contrasty, which I happen to love, and the results are so gorgeous. In the toning bowl, we blended out her root with a level 4, which I love because it's deep enough to match her natural base and blend out all of those low lighty pieces. I kind of love this because I'm such a big fan of working smarter, not harder. So if it looks good, just run with it. We did do a little open air hand painting just to pull out some old layered toner in the front. And I didn't even go back in and tone that down just because what would the point of that be? I wanted it to be like just a soft accent. And here she is. She looks so amazing. I just love seeing rich 3D color, and I know that this is just gonna be something that you can put in your tool belt to take your colors to the next level. If you love this tutorial, please subscribe to Kenra Professional's YouTube channel because there is so many amazing tutorials on here. You just can't miss them. And if you'd like to follow me on my hair journey, you can find me on Instagram at @low_Wheeler Davis.